Hey, Coach Shane from
Shane.
AM New York. Congrats on a big win.
Thank you.
That Maxi Morales goal came out of nothing in a half where not a lot had happened. How much does that alter your halftime team talk, and how much does it swing momentum for you in the second half when Atlanta kind of have to come out of their back five a bit?
Well, like I've told you guys many times, scoring the first goal is very crucial in a game because it gets the energy, it gets the game and the dynamic that you want to go forward with. I said to the guys just now there were two crucial moments also. The penalty, yes or no, is a moment. Of course, from our perspective, as it was a clear save, but we needed the ref to check the VAR, so we were okay with that. And then it's the offside goal, which is one moment because of this temperature and the way you need to play in this heat. You could switch off easily, and that was the moment we almost got punished for it. And so we needed that goal because the game was, I think, even. And then the second half becomes very interesting because I told my guys, if you take care of the ball just a little longer, you don't rush it into the final third, you can get in a situation where you can dominate in a double box, as we call it. And after 5-6 minutes in the second half, that is what you saw. And they were very disciplined off the ball as well and punished them severely for the moments that we could take over. So big compliment for the team.
Scott?
Hey, Coach, how are you? Scott Church and Stream Punk Soccer. Like he said, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And also congratulations on 3 goals in 4.5 minutes. That is actually the tightest 3-spot goal in team history.
Okay.
Talk a little bit, though, about Munsef's goal, what it means to him and the team, and also, obviously, Hannes' goals as well. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm very happy for Munsev, of course, but first of all, with the team's performance, because Munsev has showed already in a few games back how important it is to keep the belief in your part in a team process. I believe it was the game against Chicago when he ran all the way back, intercepted, and we had the goal on the other side. And now he got his moment to start because Alonso wasn't available for us. I was actually a little bit concerned when he missed a bigger chance in the 1v1 with the goalie. But the way he settled the score with the second goal was a beautiful one. And he works so hard in order to be ready for the team, so it's a big achievement for him. Hannes is in a good space. You could see also how we score his goals, or his goal today is a good example of being connected at the right moment and knowing where you need to finish in order to get that biggest chance possible. And he clinically finished it really well. So I hope he stays in that good place for a while now.
We're going to go with Michael and then followed by Mark.
Hey, Coach. Michael from Pro Soccer and Blue City Radio. You came in tonight missing some key pieces in the team for international duty or injury. So you had a lot of guys step up tonight. What does it mean for the team as a whole to get these guys stepping up? And I wonder if you could just sort of expand on Scott's question and talk about the team as a whole for these guys that stepped up.
Yeah, you can see I hope you can see the progress we're making as a team, because consistency is still our most important word for this season, becoming more consistent. And it looks like it's heading in that direction, but we have to be aware of the fact that we have to work so hard in order to get these achievements done. The guys who had to step up today, I see them every day in training. And I know for a fact that it's very hard to accept if there's a better player on your spot, and you have to be patient and give your best and everything that you have inside you every day in training in order to be competitive. And that's what they do. So that is the only way to be prepared for when it is your moment. And Tomas showed it today, coming behind Matt Fries, who is one of the best goalies in the country. And that's why he's with the national team. And he stepped up today. Started a little shaky, but he stepped up. Tana had to wait for his moment, stepped up today. I'm happy that Pepe is back again. And we could give minutes to Kevin O'Toole again. So it shows the commitment of the whole squad and how important it is to be ready all the time.
Mark?
Hey, Coach. Mark Radigan with Hudson River Blue.
Hi, Mike.
You touched on it a little bit, talking about Hannah's brace a moment ago, but he's been a player that has been criticized for some of his inconsistencies going forward, and he's got 4 goals in his last 2 games. You talked about him being in that right headspace and hoping that it continues, but sort of what has changed in the past couple weeks with his game, or maybe it's his approach to these games that's allowed him to get in these positions to score and ultimately find the back of the net?
Yeah, that's interesting because that is the result until now of the progress we made as a team. He had his moments where we were all thinking, how could you miss this moment, or why are you not there? But it's all about being consistent in your behavior, because you have to be on the spots where you need to be, where you're expected to be in certain plays. And today was a good example. He was at the right moment, in the right spot, and was very clinical in his finish. So that builds confidence for the team in general, but also for the individual player, because he starts to feel and understand more about the things that we discuss in training, in the video analysis, and making sure that he has to maintain that discipline in order to become successful. So if he does that, and I have no concern that he will not, I think he can have a good season overall. But like I said to your colleague just now, if we have the idea to slow down for even a second or a minute, that is something that we have to be on top of every day. And that is my job. And that is the growth within the squad. And we're playing just 1 game after the mid part of the season. So this is a good reference for us to move forward.
We're going to go with Alec, followed by Daniel.
Hi, Coach. Alec Kossoff, Fibro Footy. You kind of touched on it a little bit already. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but there was a
Then don't.
there was a pretty significant difference in the connective tissue of the attack from the first half to the second half. You mentioned kind of slowing down. I was wondering if there was like a tactical approach to that. It seemed like everybody was more cohesive moving through the build-up, even into the final third in the second half.
Yeah, if you rush into the moments like we did a couple of times in first half, it becomes a transitional game, which is completely unnecessary. You have to take care of the ball. And we were rushing things in first half. So I said to the guys also during halftime, if it becomes a battle or survival of the fittest, I know we will be the fittest on this pitch. But you can avoid it in order to be more clinical on the ball, take care of it, and it will become less of a transitional game. And wear them out. And that's what they did in the second half, because we were much cleaner on the ball than we were in the first half. Of course, scoring the goals like we did in the amount of time that we did, that helps a lot, because it takes away the energy of the opponent. But we had a score to settle also, looking back at the game in Atlanta. So they felt it. We couldn't slow down, but we had to take care of the ball, and that's what we did. And if you look at the starting 11, so interesting, because I mentioned to Thiago yesterday and Tana going into this game, if you see how many offensive players were on the pitch today, you might get the feeling that they forget what to do out of possession, but they were so disciplined today. And that's why we get the result that we did today.
Final one, Daniel.
Hey, Coach. A few weeks ago, you talked about Ojeda and how he's unstoppable on the training field, but it doesn't seem to translate when he's on the pitch on a real game. And today, he seemed a bit unstoppable, especially on the one-on-one play. And just want to talk about that and how do you think that developed?
I agree. But for me, this is no surprise. This is what I see in training throughout the week. And I was hoping he would get the satisfaction of an assist or a goal. And he did that. Yeah, the assist is there because the movement towards Hannes, he's involved in that chain of passes. But the way, the moment in the second half, the give and go into the box, and he got the rebound, I was like, okay, this is his moment because he's going to finish this off. But he slipped and he fell. But this was for sure one of his better games, because also what you see, his behavior and discipline out of possession was also at a very high level today. So it's not only going forward, but it's also being there for the team when we need to go back, and that's what he did. So he played an overall very well game.
Great. Thank